and their lives are crooked. But the righteous will live by their faithfulness to God. Hallelujah. Say that the right way. You can't live any kind of way and expect for God's people to be inspired to follow. You can't have crooked and divisive and ulterior motives before God. They have to see the pure God in you, because they shouldn't have to look over you. Well, I know he got some problems, and I know that should never be reflected from the pulpit to the people. They shouldn't have to tolerate you to get to God. If you make a mistake, say, I made a mistake, but I'm trying to get it right. Everybody who loves God knows how to forgive. But you cannot be crooked, because you got to know what people are saying about you. I know that may be strange. I don't care what nobody thinks. Hold on. You need to kind of know what people are saying about you. You really do. And the reason you need to know that is because there's certain things you need to hear that will motivate you to go to God for something else. Okay, let me just share this with you. So we walk by faith. So everything we do puts us back to that faith platform. Okay, so this last thing I need to ask you is, what do other people see? What image do you project? What do people see when they think of your ministry? What do they think when they think of your church? You need to know that. You know, we will feel that's that big church with the sinners are welcome. That's that big. Now there's a whole lot of other stuff they said about us, but that was true. Had that big sinners are welcome sign up there. They said we had a ATM machine in the lobby, and we would take the senior citizens' checks and give them stipends from there. They said a lot of other stuff. I can't control what people who have a problem with me say. I need to know about the people I can help. What do they say? Jesus had the same thing. There's certain things Jesus couldn't impart into the disciples until after he found out who did they think he was. This question, let me just share with you. Identity is very important. It's very important. When I started the church, God told me my wife would pastor with me. She didn't tell me. God told me. I asked her, I said, listen, she was a submitted wife, so she pastors with me. But God told me there was a certain image of unity that needed to be seen from the pulpit of black churches. Because at that time, you couldn't find the wives. You don't know where they was at. Don't look at me like y'all don't know what I'm talking about. They wasn't always getting up. I want to thank God for my wife. She's the honey in my tea. She's the sugar in my coffee. They wasn't always saying that stuff. Don't be looking at me like you don't hear me, believe me. You'd have to try to figure out who she was, because they wouldn't bring her up. I said, I want my wife to stand next to me and people can see the unit of husband and wife working together in our community. I was ostracized and called some of everything, but I know what God showed me. Families start coming. Husband and wives and families. You got to understand what is the image that you project.